Fireside chat time. Truly, because my fireplace is right there. This is the story, not about a girl named Lucky. This is the story about my unhinged era, getting back in business after having my third kid and realizing I don't like some of this stuff. I want to change everything. I want to change my brand, or at least refresh with a heavy, heavy paintbrush, and rolling out my new website, She Pretty. In this video, I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes of my new brand rollout, what went through my brain, just how I decided and why I decided on certain thematic elements on our new website. I've not had a new website in 2.5 years, or barely updated anything. It was time. Hello, if we've not yet met, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I am a campaign strategist and copywriter. Left corporate job back in about 2016, started copywriting, that turned into an agency, coined the phrase copywriting for creatives, and moved into offering education as well because I firmly believe in not gatekeeping, and as we're out there figuring things out in the trenches, what's working, what's not working, I like to report on that because hiring a copywriter every single time you need somebody to write something in your business is expensive. And AI is good. It ain't that good. You need to understand, know enough to be dangerous about this stuff, and that's what I like to talk about. I also usually do not film from my living room. I kind of maybe want to more, I don't know, from my house. It correlates into today's lesson. There is a reason I'm in here. But hit like if you think I should film more from inside my house. Okay, let's get down to it. Brass tacks. How it started, how it's going, basically how my unhinged first month back made me want to burn it all down. I did a full video on kind of my thoughts, but the TLDR, I have always been about trying to figure out how to set up a business that runs when I can't. I started my business coming out of medical partial hospitalization for anxiety and an eating disorder, so I've always known that that is a major tenet. And like I said, things worked really good. I basically kind of let things free fall for a while. I mean, I was still showing up and creating products, but as far as the marketing and the brand, I didn't touch positioning. I didn't touch the website and what it looked like. I didn't really worry about trends. But then I had my last kid and I came back in about February. And like I said in the other video, Sarah, the employee who's been with me the longest, called it on the carpet and said, it's like you've built a business that you don't like anymore because you've changed a lot. And I realized, yes, 3 things are wrong. 1, I'm not creatively inspired anymore. I started a writing business. I'm not writing. That's a problem. Number 2, the outsides didn't match the insides. When I looked at my digital footprint, that's not how I feel anymore. This is my style. I like patina. I like antique. I like that gritty edge on stuff. I also am 30, almost, how old am I? I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. I'm moodier. I'm sharper. I'm more opinionated professionally just because I've seen some things. I've been doing this for a minute. Then I'm now not just a mom of 1, I'm a mom of 3, and my time is unbelievably limited. Sometimes I swear it feels like I have like part-time hours to do a full-time job. Y'all are all asking for my productivity hacks. I don't really have any right now. I'm figuring it out. But yeah, when things felt too light and airy, and I don't feel like that inside. I want to get to the point a little faster maybe than I used to. And the third broken thing I was realizing is that the offer stack was not clear on my website. Remember, I set it up, it's spinning like a top, it's bringing in leads, it's making us money, we're getting thousands of hits to the website, but my offer stack and ladder was different. It was not clear on the website. And then to add salt to the wound, I was sitting here thinking, I don't even know if I like this offer stack, do I? So I spent time just dwelling and trying to figure out what I wanted. I showed you guys in 2 videos ago this kind of document, just thinking through, what if it were simple? Things were simple, what would it look like? But what I didn't tell you in that video is during this time, that's when I shot a DM to my friend Katie. Katie was actually a beta tester of Copywriting for Creatives back in 2016. We had connections from Birmingham and Auburn. She basically does for visuals what I do with Copywriting for Creatives. So I was talking to her and just kind of brainstorming out and telling her, like, this is what I think is off about this. I had done my pink and gold phase in like 2016. I'd done my navy era, which was great, but I have a little bit more of a specific brand look that I wanted for this new one. And that's what I was talking about with her. So that brings me into this next section. There's a few things that I wanted to double down on. I'm calling this new website, this new look, journalism core, magazine core. I've said before that I have very specific reasons why I pick certain things. And I will never forget where I was in theaters when The Devil Wears Prada came out. I was like a senior in high school. It's this time I'm thinking, okay, I am going to hang up my point shoes. It's going to be magazines for me. I love J-School. 2009, I was interning. That was the year that a lot of magazines were folding. I changed my concentration in journalism to PR. But magazines, newspapers, I'm obsessed. I always have been. So I wanted to double down on that. I wanted my website to feel like Town & country, garden and gun. I wanted a little grit on all of the photos. Wanted to double down on that. Let me talk about color palette for a minute. Here's our updated color palette. The orange and blue theme comes from a couple of things. One, Auburn, War Eagle. Two, the Veuve colored yellow that I use. I love this book, so good. Madame Clicquot was one of the first female entrepreneurs, and she took a lot of risks. I've loved her story for a long time. I like champagne. It's a good analogy for a lot of the things I do in my business. One thing I've learned is that people will copy your motifs. They will copy your color palette, your look, your fonts. But you've got to figure out the reasons why you're making certain brand decisions. I've said this before. I tell people this inside Copywriting for Creatives. You have a monopoly on your story. So if you can figure out your brand story and your themes with words, they can't take that from you. So we have black and white, obviously from newspaper. Some of that navy still in there, Auburn. The correlation with Veuve yellow. There's a little bit of orange and blue hints in the new colors. And then the cerulean. That color, I think it was Angela at Saffron Avenue who pulled that color back in 2021 when we were first working on my other website. And I thought, yes, I want that cerulean color purely because of the line in Devil Wears Prada.
It's not just blue. It's not turquoise. It's not lapis. It's actually cerulean.
Again, pulling everything together. So doubling down on the journalism-ish look, journalism core, doubling down on the colors. Photography. I use a lot of photos that Abby Grace shot for me. I've talked before about how to do a brand shoot. I think it's so immensely important, but I basically put a filter on everything. I think it was a filter pack from Maston Labs. So I wanted that. Katie Smith, who helped work and bring this to life, she had the idea, what if the AW at the top of the website looks like a wax seal, like on a letter, on an envelope? Because when I started my business, I had calligraphy on one side, copywriting on the other. So pulling that back in, and then that brings me to typography. I wanted the fonts to really give that magazine feel. I wanted a little bit of nostalgia look with them. And then I wanted at least one font to have references to copperplate calligraphy. So new typography, done. Brand positioning. A lot of this I hashed out inside that What If It Were Simple doc, but I was using the tenets, the same ones, I swear, the same ones that I talk about inside Copywriting for Creatives. Core values, mission, brand story, my onlyness factor. All that I'm rewriting. Our brand tone, I wanted to double down on just a little more spicy, a little more opinionated, a little more confident. Y'all know I say copy dictates design, not the other way around. So can you see? I hope you can see how I knew the story. I knew the message that I wanted to weave in all this. The images are just the vehicle to communicate the things and the themes that I had already figured out. I started with all those, and then I began looking for the elements that could help me create that. So there's the new website. You can go check it out, ashlynwrites.com. A lot of pages we were cleaning up the copy, but cleaning up the imagery and giving this new look. Okay, the last big thing that I wanted to talk to you about is how on the website I'm now trying to give a clearer offer ladder. What is the roadmap of somebody moving through my stuff? Here's an exercise for you. Can you build a little roadmap like this? CFC students, Module 4, Tab 2 of your digital workbook, you talk about your offers. You figure that out. Can you create something like this in Canva? I mocked this up as a way to help me and my team too, my team especially, understand my vision for how our offers correlate and connect to each other. Paige said on a recent YouTube video, she was like, oh my gosh, looking at your offer stack makes me exhausted. That does not seem simple. I was like, girl, I know. But also remember, there's two things. One, we pretty much run, not pretty much, I have two businesses. I have a full functioning agency that pretty much operates by itself and could be its own business. And then I have the education side of my business as well. Those are two businesses. You could get really fancy and say content creation alone. Some people are just content creators, and I create a lot of content. That could be a third business, but basically there's two businesses under one roof. So here's what the offer ladder is. My core paid products, I have a new, brand new, so it's there, it's on the website, the Copy Bank Club. $20 a month, copy drop subscription every Monday, an email copy template, an AI copy tip, and 3 hooks. Hooks to make you go, you can use them however you want. I wanted a subscription. I want some kind of offer that for people is like the equivalent of brushing your teeth. You have to use your toothpaste every day. You have a little relationship with your toothpaste every day. I wanted that kind of thing with my people. Before, the subscription was in with the Copy Bar Collective, which is my membership. One of the big things I realized I want to do is break that. I want the membership by itself, and I want the subscription over here. I do not want them together. What if it were simple? If it were simple, they'd be 2 separate offers. So boom, Copy Bank Club, low ticket. Next up, the entry course, Prime to Launch. We've got probably 6,000 students at this point. It's my system for launching. I love it, not going anywhere. Next up, I drop templates still inside the Copy Bar. That's our template shop. Not going anywhere. pretty much turnkey. Next rung on the ladder, got a little makeover, the collective. It's my membership. My big change, my what if it were simple change, I would just do business coaching in there. I wouldn't worry so much about, I don't know, I felt like the way that it was structured, I could not talk about business coaching. People would be asking for a copy out on something and I would be like, what is your plan to make money this month? Do you have cash flow this month? Because I want to triage and talk about that. And I felt like the way that it was structured as being so copy focused, I couldn't talk about that. And I'm very, very passionate about small business and trying to figure out how to solve problems. So that's a big pivot. And I think by pulling the subscription out and having the membership, the coaching membership, truly just be a coaching membership, the collective, feel a little better about it. Next up on the rung, Copywriting for Creatives, $1,000 signature course. And that is the education side's business model. Those are the offers. Swing over to the agency business. Here's the offer ladder there. And yes, they can mix and match, they can overlap, but yes, they are two chunks. On the agency side, we now have our 1 hour calls. This is something that I did and then I started having kids and I pulled it off and I'm offering now again. My team is offering now. You should be able to hire for 1 hour a buff and polish sesh where you can just call and book. One big thing I wanted to do on the website that I said, you should be able to book these from the website with your thumb while holding a kid. It needs to be dead simple, easy for people to purchase these. Next up, day rates. We're bringing day rates back. I did a whole video one time on VIP days. Loved them. We just couldn't staff them for a while, bringing it back. And then we have our full service packages where my agency will do brand story and website copy. We'll write your brand story. We'll figure out your brand messaging. We'll write your entire website. And we have the launch version of that where we'll figure out all your launch campaign messaging, all the strategy behind that, write all the emails, write the whole sales page, all the thank you pages and everything in between. So that's how I stripped it down. That's what I wanted the two wings under the umbrella of Ashlyn Writes. That's what I want the offer ladders to be. And I want it to be clear on the new website. So yeah, here's my mood board. Go to the website. Tell me, do you think it matches? It was fun. Like I said, leaned hard into magazines. Hopefully, I've always said I want it to feel Southern without ever having to say it. And I want a little bit of like 90s country club vibes. Like, you know, where the carpet really needs to be replaced and they're just not doing it. I respect that. And I want that vibe. Is that weird? I talked a lot about copywriting for creatives. It's coming back, baby. Get yourself on the wait list. Look down below or go to ashlynwrites.com/CFC. Nearly 3,000 students. Can't be wrong. Let's get you a brand message so tight you can bounce a quarter off of it. All right, thanks for watching yet another I just turn on the camera and go kind of video. Here's to working from a place of more rest, less hustle, and I'll see you in the next one.